This is how you can get more cleaning bookings through your website. Now, here's the thing. There are three main factors to consider if you want your website to actually bring in more clients for your home cleaning business. One is the traffic, because how can you get more clients through your website if it doesn't really receive any traffic, right? And I'm not just talking about the website here. We'll also talk about the Google Business Profile because they're connected basically. And then next is to build trust. So let's say we finally get some traffic to your website. The next thing that we need to consider is that to make sure that they actually trust us immediately through the website itself. So that's traffic and trust. And finally, we have the conversion optimization or the conversion itself. So basically, you now have the traffic and they trust you. And finally, we need to make them convert to a lead or to a paying client. So that's either to contact you, so they become a lead, and then or to actually book a paid service, in which case they already become a client. So for this video, we'll focus on the first thing first, which is the traffic, because there's a lot to talk about. And then we'll use this Wild Rose cleaning company as an example rather. Okay, let's start here. As for the checklist, traffic, can people find it? So the first thing is we need to do a branded search. So I'm assuming this is the main commercial cleaning services. And then I think it's in Calgary, right? Yeah. So their company should show up, which is there, and it's also here. So that's good. Let's check that off. And then local SEO ranking. For that, I would have to run it in my local Falcon. Unfortunately, this is not free. Okay, now let's move on to local SEO ranking. So I ran the the Google Business Profile in this tool that I'm using. Unfortunately, it's not free, but here I already ran it. So anyway, the ranking is not that good, at least in the middle, in the city center, or so downtown I think is around here. Is it right? Yeah, I think so. So anyway, it's not really showing up high on majority of the places, which is not good, because that would mean that the competitor is certainly having the time of their life. I mean, when we compare it to this business, for instance, they're showing up a lot more higher compared to yours. You're actually around here. That's in the 8 on average, which is not good. So there are ways on how you can improve that. So let's see here. Let's see, hopefully, review newest. You do have 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago. Yeah, one way you can do that is to get more reviews. So don't be afraid to ask for reviews, especially considering if you got a negative review. The best way to actually hide that, well, you can't really hide it. What I mean is you can simply cover that by getting more positive reviews. So that's one way you could do that, because reviews are a major ranking factor. And then what else is here? You're doing posts. That's perfect. Okay. What else? Reviews, overview. Okay. But yeah, I'm assuming you could optimize your Google Business Profile a lot more so you can rank higher. But the main thing that you can do here, and the easiest thing you can do, is to ask for more reviews so you can rank higher for your local SEO, right? And then let's do that. And then the traffic versus the competitor. I ran this in SEMrush, and they're getting about 1.7k traffic, which is really, really good. So that is good. If your business website is not getting that enough traffic, then you do need to do a lot of SEO optimization. One of those example is to make sure that the main ones, this one is not even super optimized, but they're getting a lot of traffic. That's surprising. Okay, so if you're not getting a lot of traffic, here are the things you can do. One is you can add some meta title that's actually relevant to the main keyword that people are searching for. So for instance, it could be something like cleaning services in Calgary. Like you can add that, cleaning services in Calgary. That specific thing. And then you can add that in the meta description as well. Now, whether you're using a website platform like Wix or Squarespace or even WordPress, they have an option to easily add a meta title and a meta description. I just don't have a tutorial for them yet, but I will create one. But the point is, you don't really need to know all the technical stuff here or the technical skills to develop a website, because they already have that option. And another thing is this: for the H1, you also need to use the main keyword, which in this case it would be cleaning services in Calgary. Now, it's not really ideal to just keyword stuff the main keyword here. I said keyword way too many times. But I mean, it should still be natural. So you could say something like home cleaning services in Calgary and then your company name. for the H1. Again, there should be an easy option to edit your H1. And then another thing, or at least those are the main technical stuff you could do so you can actually show up in Google and get those traffic going. Coming. And then here's another one. There should only be one H1 for your website. The reason why is you can think of it as, or you can think of H1 as the title of the book or the title of the chapter. So it would be easy for Google to understand what the web page, or in this case, your website actually is about. So if you have a lot of H1, Google will basically be confused and not rank you high. So instance, if we search for cleaning services in Calgary, I can almost guarantee that it will not show up in the first page. What was the company? Let's search cleaning Calgary. Not there, I'm not talking about that. Mission Made, Aspen Clean, Facebook, Pinkwood, I Made for a Day. And then let's check the next one. Wildrose. Here it is on page 2. So I was right. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you're not really ranking high on this Google search results. But for the map pack, they are showing quite high on specific areas, so that's good. But yeah, you do need to be able to rank high both in the map pack of Google and for the search results. So by implementing those technical stuff that I talked about, you can rank a bit higher compared to your competitors. But of course, there's a lot more that goes into it, but at least those are the main ones you can fix easily. Okay, let's do that. Oh, I actually did talk about that. I also talked about this. I did talk about that. That's a lot. Keyword clarity. So this is what I meant. It should be obvious what the page is about. So in this case, it's quite obvious that you're talking about having cleaning services in Calgary. However, another problem here is that if you just say something like cleaning services in Calgary, that cleaning service could mean a lot of things. Window cleaning, it could even be residential or commercial cleaning. So make sure that you're also, apart from the SEO side of things, you're also really clear for your website visitors. In this case, you can say something specific like home cleaning services or for commercial properties, right? So that's one way how you can create simple clarity. Don't try to be too clever with regards to the content of the website. Just make it really simple that your visitors can easily understand that they're in the right place and you're the right business to actually choose, right? Your short, clean, this is a bit technical, but again, whatever you're using for your website, it should have an option to create that URL part or the slug. So this one, commercial cleaning, that's good. Because I've seen so many websites that has something like P equals that number, right? This should not be what you're doing because it's also like a ranking factor for Google, and as well it's also good for the human side of things because it's easy to understand than the numbers, right? Alt text. So for the alt text, basically you don't have any alt text. Alt text is what describes the image. So the thing is, Google, or I guess computers, can't really understand what the image is about. So that's where the alt text comes in. If you had an alt text, that's a ranking factor in Google. And you can also use your keywords for that. So even your image in the image search could also like rank higher, which is a good thing, hey? So yeah, you should have alt text for all your images. And again, it should be easy to do that whether you're using WordPress, Wix, or Squarespace. I think I actually have a video for that. I'll link to it if I have that already. But yeah, it should be easy. And HTTPS, now with modern website builders, this is not that problematic. Basically here, HTTPS, you have HTTPS here. So if you're already using some modern website builders, you don't have to worry about this. But basically, HTTPS makes your connection secure to the website itself, because if it doesn't have any HTTPS or SSL certificates, your visitors can't really go into your website because the browser itself will block them. And in order to check that, simply press Command L or Control L if you're in Mac, and then you should be able to see it's HTTPS. But if it's HTTP, you should also redirect to HTTPS, which it's not doing here. That's not good. Yeah, here you can just add HTTPS if you have HTTPS. If you don't have an HTTPS, well, I've been saying that too many times. If you don't have that, and then your browser will have a warning kind of thing that basically saying don't go into this website because it could be a phishing or scam, those kind of thing. So yeah, it's important to have that. But again, you don't really have to worry about that too much since a lot of website builders will take care of that for you. Next, load time. I already ran it in page speed insights, which is also free. So just go to pagespeed.web.dev and then run your own website to check how fast it actually is. And the most important thing here, well, I guess the overall score, but the speed index. Because there's this study long ago, that makes me sound so old, long ago by Google, I think, that it only takes about 3 seconds for your visitor to go back to the search results and then look for a different business. So what I mean is that if your website loads for more than 3 seconds, then the chances are, and most likely, those visitors will just jump back right into the search results, meaning you've already lost that client or potential client before you can even tell what it is that you do. So that's not good. At least for the desktop, it's a bit faster, but mobile is quite important with regards to speed as well. Even more important than desktop, I would argue. Here's the thing. It's really complicated to tell how to fix this because it's a lot technical, honestly. But one way you can do that is you can compress the images itself, and you can compress the images by doing something like image compressor kind of thing. Yeah, you can run your images through something like this to make sure the file size is a lot smaller without actually breaking the quality, right? That's one way, but again, the rest are like really, really technical. I plan to create a video on how to actually speed up your website for Wix, WordPress, and then Squarespace, like the most popular ones, hey? But yeah, your website should really be fast. And it's also a ranking factor, so there's that. And then with regards to mobile experience, same thing, it's also a ranking factor. And at the same time, if your website is not mobile friendly, then your visitors will just choose another website or choose your competitors over you, because it will be hard to navigate, right? Okay, but you're doing that, so that's good. In order to know or check whether your website is mobile friendly, simply go to your phone and then type up your web address, right? Your domain name. Now, in order to fix that, that's also a bit complicated. But here's the thing. Luckily, a lot of websites platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or WordPress will have ready-made templates that's also mobile friendly. Like, I haven't actually seen a template that's not mobile friendly, at least in the modern days. So that is also hopefully something that you don't have to worry too much about. But if it is not mobile friendly, then you might have to update that with a different template that's actually mobile friendly. Or, you could also hire a web designer. Reviews. So this is what I talked about earlier, because it helps you rank higher on the Google Map Pack, which is this one. So yeah, it's important to get more reviews on your Google Business profile so you can actually get more eyes onto your business and get those traffic that I talked about. Okay. So that's that's like the very basic thing in order to make sure that your website actually gets traffic. So the next step for your home cleaning website, once you get the traffic going or coming, anyway, once you get the traffic that you actually deserve, then the next step is to convey trust properly so they don't just go back to search results or choose a different competitor.